Hello, and welcome back to Kerbol Space Program. So, last time here at Spud Space Agency, we finally did a rover mission, and we landed that on E.V.E, which was awesome. At the end of that video, we still had the objective to splash down on E.V.E, which we couldn't do with the rover because I still wanted to be able to drive the rover. So, I did just send up a small craft with some solar panels and a little probe that I just landed in the ocean on E.V.E. And then after that, we got a mission to, again, orbit E.V.E and do a spacewalk. And as that was another mission that I've already actually done on this current playthrough, you've already seen me orbit E.V.E and do a spacewalk, I've just quickly sent off a mission and got that done. So, as we got back to the Kerbol Space Center, we received a transmission from Soden Kerman, and it seems like with Jeb, Bill, and Bob off exploring E.V.E, he was feeling a little lonely left here, so he's launched himself up to Minmus, and he forgot to put a parachute on or a heat shield. So it looks like someone's going to have to go and get him. And I thought, what a better way to do that than let's try and build a space plane, because I've never attempted to do that before. Built a few planes, but never attempted to build like an SSTO, a single stage to orbit, and, well, yeah, send a space plane into orbit. I also did just do a quick round of gathering science from the two surface bases on Mun and Minmus, so we've got a lot of science here, which I'm going to spend a lot of it now unlocking stuff for space planes. So we're going to get high altitude flight, hypersonic flight, and the aerospace tech. Cool. I've no idea what I'm really doing, so let's just build a plane, I guess. So I guess let's start with the Mark II cockpit and just build up some stuff from there, really. Okay, so to start with, I've got 2 liquid fuel fuselages. That's going to be for our plane mode, and I'm going to use a nuclear engine because that only needs liquid fuel, it doesn't need oxidizer. And then in these 2 ones at the back, I've got rocket fuel, so that's also got oxidizer in, which should hopefully power the Rapier engine I got in its orbital mode, essentially. So let's put on a nuclear engine at the back there. Wow, that thing is long. Add a couple of shock cones there, and then the Rapier engines on the back. So the thing that's really cool about the Rapier engines is they are both a air-breathing engine for normal plane flight, and they have a rocket engine mode, so they can either use air intake from the shock cones, like a normal jet engine would, or it can use oxidizer fuel for rockets, so it means you can use them in atmosphere and in space. And I guess I need some wings, probably very useful. Let's put on the overlays of our center of mass and center of lift. And then we want our landing legs just behind the center of mass. Okay, so I have no clue if this is going to work, I'm going to be honest. I've got the engine for sort of in-space maneuvers. I've got the Rapier engine for in-flight. I also have no idea if I've got enough Delta V, because I haven't got a clue of how you calculate that for a space plane. I think for now, let's drop Val in there. Oh, we will need a docking port, actually, to be able to pick up the Kerbol. That would be useful. I guess let's just see if this thing can even take off. Oh, I didn't like that. That was very wobbly. Okay, we're definitely going to need some struts. I've not really used them much, but from the many other videos I watch of people playing Kerbol, I know that these nuclear engines are incredibly heavy. Whoa. Oh, well, we can take off, which is good. Probably need to tilt down to build up more speed, I think. I mean, it looks pretty good, but I don't think it's going very effective. I think we need to be going a lot quicker, which is something that we're not doing. Maybe I need more lift? We may also just be straight up too heavy as well. Like I said, this kind of is something I have truly no idea about. But I do know that we need to be going a lot quicker than this. The whole point of, you know, a space plane like this is to build up a lot of speed before you leave the atmosphere. You're dropping like a brick. We're building up some surface speed, but even from the engine trails, you can see how quickly we're dropping. And now that we're picking up speed, we are actually starting to go up again, which is nice. Maybe I just needed to build up a lot more speed first. Yeah, I'm fairly certain we need to be going like 10 times, if not 20 times, this speed for this space plane to be successful. So what I might just do is cut the engines, see how this thing glides, see how we'd potentially be looking on like a re-entry, and maybe look up a quick guide to see exactly what I actually need to do, because I'll be honest, I don't really have a clue. Yeah, this thing also glides like a brick, so clearly some adjustments need to be made. Well, we successfully, like, splashed down with it. Nothing broke, so that's nice at least, not wasted money. Well, the thing looks good, and it does fly, but barely. I guess it was a good first test flight. Like, you know, it didn't blow up, and it did take off and fly, so we'll take that as a win. I am going to go and look up what I actually need to do to make this thing into a proper space plane, though. Okay, so after a little bit of looking into this, I have given myself way too much fuel, which is what I think the main problem is. And then, after the fuel problem, it looks like not having enough engines, basically. So I think if I just remove some fuel for now. So I think this is a much more reasonable amount of fuel. Okay, so after some tweaking around, I've changed up the wing types, because these three little things take about as much space as that one delta wing, but have a lot more lifting surface, so that should help us in the air. And then I've also added on these extra engines. I am also going to auto-strut these up, so stop things from being too wobbly. And I also want to set up some action groups. A couple of other things I learned is that aero brakes are going to be very useful. So I'm going to shove on a couple of those. And I guess let's give this another launch. Let's say if this is attempt 2. Oh, okay. That's a little bit of a problem. Oh, we can take off at least, though. And we're going a hell of a lot quicker, so we can start banking up a lot more. Maybe got a bit too much of a wingspan now, actually. I'm a bit worried that this might cause us to burn up on a re-entry, but the flight is definitely going better, though. We're already going far quicker than we ever got to last time. And look at that, now that we've hit that sort of speed threshold, we are going so much quicker than we were before. Excellent. Now that we're in the upper part of the atmosphere, I can also turn on the nuclear engine. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was so cool. And we can kind of tilt all the way up as well. Okay, well, now it's, I guess, just see if we can extend our orbit out. Well, we did, in fact, make it into space, so that's good at least. Potentially could do with some more oxidizer, so that we can burn our rapier engines a little bit longer. Okay, well, this isn't going to get us into orbit on this run. Whether that was just a poor flight from me or we need a bit more oxidizer, I'm unsure. But for now, let's try to guide this back down. This will be a good little test to sort of see how we want to go about slowing ourselves down when it comes to re-entry, I guess. Okay, so obviously we'd be coming in a lot faster if we were coming from Minmus, but we at least still are able to do that, which is nice. The question is can this thing glide at all, or is this just dead weight? Doesn't look like it's particularly wanting to glide, but it kind of will do at least. I mean, the thing is, because we've not actually been anywhere, we've got plenty of fuel left, so we can... No? Oh, chocolate is still closed. There we go. We can at least still fly this as a plane, I guess. This thing does go very quickly. Right, can we attempt at bringing this in for a landing? Whoa. I mean, the issue there was the unevenness of the ground. If that was a level runway, I think that would have actually been a lovely landing. Well, semi-successful flight, much better than the first. We did manage to get out into orbit. Now the question is, was that just a bad takeoff on my behalf, or do we need more oxidizer? And let's try this time just with a more gradual ascent. I think I pulled up a bit too quickly, which meant I needed to rely on the oxidizer instead of just the air breathing mode. This thing does look super cool though. Okay, so we did manage to extend it out a little bit further than last time. Let's see what the maneuver node reckons. Oh yeah, we're way into space. I should have been burning in the wrong direction. But oh well. You know what? It is looking like we're gonna get in an orbit. Oh, there we go. We're in space. Oh, look at Valentina. She is loving it. That's awesome. I didn't think that actually this was going to be able to get up there. Cool. Well then, let's just plot our course straight for Minmus. Why not? We've got... should have more than enough Delta V left. Well, that's an encounter. And here we go, burning out to Minmus. Because I did a quick save, we've apparently lost audio, which is always fun. Love that. So, I've not really got into the reason why I'm doing this mission. Like, I have been looking for an excuse to try and make a space plane, because I've never done it before and they seem really cool. But the reason why I decided to do this was, whilst I was going through and getting the missions done that I had already done, such as, you know, the splashdown on E.V.E. and the spacewalk around E.V.E., I got back and the mission that I had to do was to transfer 2 Kerbols in orbit around Minmus, which obviously I have done before. And I was about to just launch off and get another one of those done with, like, you know, the overkill orbit rendezvous craft that I've used many times before. And it occurred to me, like, oh, I could actually use this as an excuse to build a space plane, which I thought would be something really cool to do. Anyway, I loaded up the game today to start doing the recording for that, and the mission that I have is now to land on E.V.E. So that's kind of irritating. So I sent off the other craft last time, you know, Soden's exploration, whatever it's called, and I sent that off without accepting the mission because I was going to accept the mission when I started recording today. And yeah, the mission was gone, which is kind of irritating, but at the same time, I still wanted to take the opportunity to attempt a space plane. Cool, well, there is our encounter. Tell you what, it's nice having these Kerbols leveled up so that they have the maneuver nodes now, where they can, you know, target maneuver. I've definitely missed that. Oh, there it is. There he is. Ah, come on, turn. I wasn't expecting to be right there. Oh man, it takes so long to do anything with these nuclear engines. Cool. Let's swap over to the other craft. But let's straight up detach that. There we go. That is a nice successful docking. In theory, actually, what I should have done is I shouldn't have decoupled the other bit. I could have stolen the fuel that was left in the bottom of his rocket, but don't really need to, but it would have been cool to be able to do. Sweet. Well, so we have Soden. We have transferred him into the cockpit. The great thing about this is that I think this will give us enough space to collect people from the research bases. So we can launch those up into orbit, dock with them, and we can use that to bring all of our Kerbols that are currently stationed on the Mun and on Minmus back home to Kerbin. Well, this is providing that we can get this thing home without killing these two, which is now our big challenge because, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I guess first things first, let's just get a maneuver back around Kerbin, which thankfully doesn't cost barely any Delta V, which is nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do some aero braking to slow us down. Let's go with 55. I think that should be okay. Cool. And that's us into the atmosphere, essentially. So let's bring in our solar panels so they don't get burnt up. And basically we just want to keep an eye out on our apoapsis. Apply our air brakes just to help us slow down even more. That's brought us down nice and close. Cool. And we are going to attempt to land back at the Kerbol Space Center, even though my track record for managing to do so is less than great. Cool. And let's do one more aero braking pass. Turn the air brakes off as they are getting a little too hot for my liking. Right, now it's not going to take a lot to circularize, so let's get a circular orbit so that way we can plan landing back at the Kerbol Space Center. Sweet. Cool, that's a nice circular orbit done. Not the greatest of inclinations, but that's fine. We can sort of adjust that when we deorbit. Let's warp around so that the KSC is in the sun. Whether this is remotely close to what I need to do, I don't know. But I'm kind of hoping that if I'm starting to slow down here, the planet's going to keep turning that direction. Hopefully that should be about right. Although, come to think of it, we're already in the atmosphere, so that's probably not great as we're halfway around the planet. So maybe I've done this a bit too early. We're just coming in very slowly, so I guess we'll see how this goes. Okay, maybe start slowing down now? I think that's the landmass that the KSC is on, so... Don't think we really want to be tumbling like this, but it slows us down, I guess, so... We'll say that this is all intentional to get us nicely slowed down. Not that I'm just spinning fairly wildly out of control. Let's turn on our Rapier engines, just to hopefully get us going in the right direction. We are coming in not very well. Well, we did massively undershoot it. However, we've got hopefully enough fuel to get us back over to the Space Center. I think that's the Space Center there. There we go, we can just about see it loading in the distance. Oh, oh. Hey, that wasn't exactly a smooth landing, but it was a landing at the Space Center. Oh, that's so cool. There we go. Our first ever spaceplane flight complete. We successfully managed to go rescue Soden Kerman from his little blunder of a trip to Minmus. even though it wasn't exactly necessary to do anymore. This was an awesome little project to do. Let's EVA out Valentina here. I forgot to put a ladder on, but it's fine. We're back home. Well, there we go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been really fun, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.